Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 cast by Glitch. Today, I am going to be bringing to you a ZVP. You guys want to know why I'm bringing to you a ZVP? Because I just streamed, and I just laddered, and I just lost 0 out of 7, or no, sorry. I won 0 out of 7. Yes, that's right, my record for the night is 0-7 versus Protoss. 7 times today, you guys. I lost to everything from cannon rushes to mass void rays. I lost from pretty much anything you can lose to against Protoss. Everything in between. I lost to so many different things today. It was all just icky and terrible. So I was like, you know what? I need to find some replays of a good player playing against Protoss. So what I did is I went out on the internet and I actually came across this guy who was on Reddit, and just today this guy by the name of Blade happened to upload a whole bunch of Korean ladder ZV blank. He just uploaded a ton of replays, like 19 megabytes worth of replays, which is a lot of replay files. It is a ton of replay files, and he is a high Masters player on the Korean ladder. So yeah, let's introduce these players really quick. Spawning in the bottom left position as the blue Zerg, we have Blade. Yes, absolutely. Blade is our Zerg player, the man who uploaded these replays, and the man I should be thanking for having done so, because I'm hoping to learn a lot from him. I've been watching a lot of his replays, actually, just to see what he's going to be doing. His opponent today spawning in the top right position as the red Protoss, we have an unnamed barcode Protoss. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's just a random Protoss guy. Could be a pro StarCraft player, could just be someone who wants to be a pro StarCraft player. No idea. Either way, we have no idea who this actually is, as his name is just a barcode. But both of these players are high masters on the Korean server, so that is extremely, extremely good. It takes a lot of work to get to that high masters. So we can see so far that Blade is opening fairly standard. Spawning pool has gone down. We can see that he is now sending down that drone to take this natural expansion. Perfectly normal. And on the Protoss side of things, he has gone straight immediately for the Nexus after Pylon. And now he's going into that forge, so he's doing something a little bit more old school, a little bit more Wings of Liberty-esque, which is actually something that I have been seeing a lot in watching a lot of these Blade replays. I discovered that a lot of Korean Protoss players are still sticking to the old ways, which makes perfect sense to me. This makes a lot of sense to me. The Koreans love to perfect like one style of play. They love to have one style that they're really, really comfortable with, and just like perfect that one style. They have that one push that they just perfect. So it's really, really unusual to see a lot of the Korean players do a lot of weird, crazy things for a while. It takes much longer for builds to come across, whereas, you know, North American servers these days, we're seeing a lot of Gateway expands. We're seeing a lot of Gateway Cybernetics core into Nexus, because it lets you get out the faster Mothership core, and it lets you get out the faster Warp Gates. You can do some earlier timing pushes. But we can see that this Protoss player going for fairly normal build so far. And so now some Lings are out here for Blade, so he's just going to be running around here and trying to take his third base. Going to be about the same time as it would in Wings of Liberty, because he does know that this is all going down. He's seen everything in here. He saw the forge first, so he knows exactly what his opponent is doing. And now he's just going to be taking that third at about the normal time. About 4:30 is the normal time. So now we're just going to be transitioning into a pretty standard game here. Looks like these Lings are just going to be chasing off that probe. This is absolutely critical, guys. If you guys ever see that probe, you want to chase it down, because chasing it down forces this probe to have to go back home. This probe has no choice but to go back home, and then you are guaranteed that there are going to be no proxy pylons, no funny shenanigans going down here, and hey, you might even get that probe kill like Blade is about to do. Fantastic. Cybernetics core now going down here. If we check out the harvester count, we can see it is dead even in harvesters right now. 26 harvesters to 25, slightly favoring our Zerg buddy. But a lot of chrono boost going down on these probes. This is absolutely what you want to do as a Protoss player. He's being nice and defensive. He's sunk a lot of resources into getting this Nexus up early, so he wants to be mining as much as possible, as early as possible. And there's not a whole lot of Zerg can do about it at this point. He can try to do some Ling pushes and things, but not going to be too scared for that right now. I'm actually surprised that this first unit was a stalker, that he opened with a stalker. It's a little bit unusual there opening with that stalker. Much more normal to see the sentry or the zealot come down. But it looks like he's going to be opening up with that stalker, which is going to allow him to get a little bit of map control if he decides to start moving out across the map. We do see that one probe is now moving across the map here. Sorry, production tab isn't open. My bad, my bad. But on the Zerg side of things, it looks like he is just now taking a second gas. First gas went down a little while ago. Went down fairly early after that third base so that he could get this fast ling speed. And then pulled off of gas so that he could get up a lot of drones at the natural, and then put guys back in gas here around the 630 mark, and then put 3 more guys into gas down here as well. Now just going to be droning up this third base, getting a queen going there. And in the base of our barcode Protoss, we can see that there is a lot of aggression about to come out of him right now, as we do see 6 gateways going down here, and so that brings us up to a total of 7 gateways. There is a +1 attack being chrono boosted out as well. So far no pylons out on the map quite yet. Oh, but we see more gateways going down. Oh my god, it looks like it's going to be a total of 8 gateways here from our Protoss buddy, and look at this. This is actually going to end up working out quite nicely. His probes are moving out there just in time there. Look at all of these things finishing up at about the same time. The ground weapons level 1 finishing, the cybernetics core research finishing, and these gateways finishing a little slow, but still. The pylon has to go down, so he's still got some time before those really need to be done. We do see that stalker is now moving out ahead of time right now, going to be poking up into this third base, and we see a lot of spores going down from Blade. This is really unusual. I think he got a bit of a misread here. I don't think he realized that his opponent is not going for Stargate tech here. He has no idea what his opponent's doing, just blindly getting these spore crawlers, which is going to give him a lot of trouble here. Now there's a pylon going down in 2 locations here for our barcode, but there is 1 pylon down in the back end. Oh, we're seeing a giant warp in here of stalkers that are all just going to start to focus down those queens, and I think these queens are both going to go down. Some lings are now out on the field, but the ling speed, I was totally wrong about that earlier. I was thinking about another replay. This is what he did in another replay. In this replay, his ling speed was actually super late. He did not opt to get that ling speed super early. Oh my god, but some lings are coming in from the back, and he's getting a decent surround on all of these stalkers despite not having any kind of ling speed up. But there are so many stalkers now out on the field. This is really, really sketchy here for Blade. We do see 4 roaches coming down on the production tab. Roach speed also being started here as he's looking pretty confident here. Ooh, lings come in from the back, managed to pick off a sentry. Nice little pick off there by Blade. Drones now surrounding all of these stalkers, which are now taking a lot of damage. Lots of roaches and lings coming in on the production tab. Zealots now being warped in here to try to deal with all of these drones and lings, and there is so much being lost here for Blade. Will he be able to hold? But the roaches are now out, coming in from both sides, possibly. Yeah, we have lings coming in from both sides as well. The stalker count here is still pretty high for our barcode Protoss player, who's trying to warp in as much as he can, but he's taking a lot of damage on these stalkers, having to pull back to these zealots, which are now being warped in here. This is still a really dangerous place here for Blade. He is severely supply blocked right now. 2 overlords coming in, but they are still a ways from being finished. No third base, though, going down at all for our barcode Protoss, so he is fairly all in on this attack. He really needs to do a whole lot of damage here. As we can see, 2 zealots did come up here into that third base, picking off a lot of drones. If we check out the workers killed count, 13 workers killed, 14 workers killed here so far for our Protoss player. But Blade starting to stabilize here. He's still got a good number of workers here. Oh, actually, no, he doesn't. He's not mining any gas here. Only 10 workers at the natural. Luke taking a lot of damage here, but he's got a lot of roaches on the map, so he might have been able to hold off this attack. Our Protoss player might start thinking about transitioning here, but oh, big warp in of zealots here coming in as he's trying to move in here. He doesn't have the force fields, though. That's the big thing here, is that he's got all of these stalkers but no force fields, which is really what he needs. Look at how well these roaches are just able to kite all of these zealots, meaning that these stalkers just don't really have the time to deal the damage they want. And the lings now coming out onto the field, and they are going to be able to pick off some of these units, and it looks like this is finally going to get pushed back here by Blade. Food supply currently 82 to 70 right now. Our barcode Protoss having to pull back to his final pylon. He's got one more there. Probe gets picked off there, but now this pylon is going to go down, and it looks like he is going to be forced to pull back. Nice little move here by Blade as well, starting to drop that creep at the third base here for our Protoss player. There is, of course, always this one, but this is not as easy to defend, right? This one, you have your ramp here, and you have your ramp here. So you just have to defend this area of your base if you want to take this as your third. Whereas with this base, you have to fight up a ramp, which is no good. You don't want to have to do that. Blade now coming across the field here, going to try to get in here and deal some damage here, and there's not a whole lot up here for our Barcode Protoss. Does he have any sentries? He's only got 2 sentries there, maybe enough energy for 2 force fields. 1 Immortal also out on the field, and there's a Robotics Bay coming down as well here, so it looks like he's going to be transitioning into Colossus right now. And we can see now that, yeah, just Chrono boosting out those robotics, those Immortals rather, while Blade back at home is just trying to get up more drones, trying to get his drone count back up to normal. Actually no, you know what? Blade is just going to be going for a big counterattack here. He's got a lot of units out on the field, and he's continuing to produce more. If we check out the unit counting station, we can see 26 Roaches on the field as well as 22 Zerglings, only 35 drones to the 47 probes of our Protoss player. So our Protoss player just needs to kind of hang out here, and if he can hang out long enough, he will be in a fantastic spot. +1 attack just now coming down here for our Zerg buddy as well. It looks like he's trying to get a nice big arc here on his opponent's units, but is he going to be able to go around? No, it looks like he's just going to hang out outside the main, and oh, this is a scary spot for our Protoss buddy, and nice mass recall back into the main, pulls all of his units in with that mass recall into that natural expansion there. Nice and safe here. Wasn't quite able to start this yet, so he still has no third base, and now it looks like Blade has decided to transition back into just getting drones. You can see he's droned back up his natural here. Third as well, starting to get some drones. 8 more drones on the production tab, but we see Colossi now starting to come out onto the field. 1 is already out here, second one on the way, and we do see that the extended thermal lance also being researched here for our Protoss buddy, and he's been denied this third base for so long. We can see that he's just not gonna really be able to get it anytime soon. I mean, there's so many units out at the front of his base right now. He could actually start to push out. I think once the second Colossus pops out, I think he'd actually be able to start pushing this back here. And yeah, Blade recognizes that, so he's just going to be pulling right on back. And there is a probe out here. There's a couple, oh no, this is the Phoenix here that's getting in, going to be getting some scouting information here. Going to see what's going on in the main. There's not a whole lot going on, honestly. He's just been droning up quite a bit. There is an infestation pit on the way with enduring locusts now being researched, but it looks like Swarm Host is going to be the unit of choice here for Blade as we get into this mid game. We do see he's now coming out here picking off some of these pylons, but we do now see that this big scary army is now moving out. A lot of sentries here in the mix, 5 sentries with a lot of energy. That's good for a good number of force fields. Couple Colossi here as well. Mothership Core coming out as well as more Colossi, and now Blade being forced to pull back here. Army supply is now even. This is not where you want to be as a Zerg player. As a Zerg player, you generally want to be up about 20 to 30 supply at this point in the game, but it looks like they are about dead even with 6 Swarm Hosts on the way here, and it looks like 2 are already out on the field here, and so far there is no detection out here. No detection at all for our Protoss player. Is he going to be getting any? Yeah, we do see that he's warping in that observer now after he saw a few of those locusts. He does know, but this is a very, very scary army now coming down here for a Protoss player. Blade is just trying to get as much stuff as he can right now. He's trying to throw down some of these locusts, trying to get a nice concave set up for that Protoss player. Wants that Protoss player to be right about in here and engage from all angles, but these roaches are stuck in here, and he doesn't want those to get force fielded in. They do manage to get force fielded in. They are totally trapped units coming from all sides right now as the locusts come down from the high ground, and some Swarm Hosts here from the top also sending locusts down from that angle, but there are so many units taking damage from these Colossi. These Colossi are doing huge amounts of damage. 7 kills, 9 kills, another one joining the fight here, and there are so many units left over for Protoss as he starts to pull in here. Now Blade is ahead in the food supply, but force fields are going down here. Will he be able to survive this? I mean, a lot of it is wrapped up in these Swarm Hosts, which are not going to be, which he's going to be able to start focusing down here once this observer gets in there. There you go, the Swarm Host starting to fall here. Some roaches in the back, more starting to come from behind. Only 2 Swarm Hosts out here, which are starting to take a little bit of damage. I don't think you can see them quite yet, but these locusts dealing so much damage. They're coming in here, starting to pick off a lot of these Stalkers. A lot of these Stalkers are taking a whole bunch of damage, but there's reinforcements coming in here as this Protoss player starts to move in here, starts to deal damage, starting to focus down the Swarm Host. Will Blade be able to hold all the drones being now pulled offline? So much damage being taken here for our Protoss player, but remember, he's got no third base right now. He needs to win this game right here, right now, with this attack. 2 observers in the mix right now, but oh no, Roach is coming down from the high ground, manages to pick off all of the Colossi, and that is going to send our red Protoss player packing. He is leaving this game with that beautiful hold there from Blade. I am actually really, really impressed that he was able to hold that. That macro was absolutely fantastic during that fight. Was able to hold that off with those swarm hosts. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful beautiful hold there by Blade. So I hope you guys enjoyed that game. I certainly did, and I'm starting to think I might be using some of those swarm hosts very, very, very soon. Keep an eye on my channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button down below. This week I'm going to be releasing a new series that I'm going to be calling, I think I'm going to call it 2-minute tutorials. They're just going to be a bunch of small, short tutorial series designed to help out those aimed around the gold level, just things that you can do as a gold level. Maybe you know how to play the game fairly well, but you need that little bit of extra practice to be able to get up to that next level. So I'm going to be releasing some different series on just small things you can do to practice. Quick, short, little tutorials. So look out for those, and thanks so much for watching, guys. Glitch out.